Guys, it's Victoria and I am finally back after being away for ages. I was on camp and then I just had no time to film, so I am finally back. I am way behind, so that's why I am doing my wrap up for April today, because even though we are a week into May, I still haven't done it. So let's begin. So I don't know how, but I ended up reading 10 books in April, which is insane. Where did I get the time? How did that even happen? And they weren't all tiny either. There were a couple that were really small. Other than that, I don't know what I did. I may be a witch. Don't tell. So these two books were the first books I read in April, and they are a continuation of a series, and I love them, and that is The Sea of Monsters and Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. These are books 2 and 3 in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. I love them so much. The Lightning Thief is definitely still my favourite book in the series, and they were good, but they weren't as good, but I still love them so much. I'm enjoying the series so much. The characters are just adorable, and I just love learning about the world. So I'm pretty sure I gave these both a 4.5 stars because they weren't the 5 stars that The Lightning Thief were, but they were still really, really close. So the next book I read was Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I'm pretty sure every single person ever in the world has read this book, but it's basically Rainbow Rowell's take, I almost called it Rainbow Rolling, Rainbow Rowell's take on a Chosen One story, and it is so good. I actually didn't think I was gonna like it because I didn't really like the Simon and Baz chapters in Fangirl, but I was wrong. This book was amazing, and I'm so excited to read Wayward Son when it comes out. So this book was 5 stars, and I definitely recommend it. So the next book I read was for the Books with Friends book club, and I initially rated it 3 stars, but after thinking about it, I could not name one thing I liked about it, so it's gone down to a 1 star, and that is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I talked about this in my last video, but I don't know why, but I really hated this book. And I don't really hate books, I know so many people love this book, but I just couldn't see why. There weren't any characters who I liked. There wasn't anything going on that I liked. It wasn't interesting. I was bored reading it. I had to force myself to read it, which I don't really like doing. So yeah, this one was a 1 star, which is sad. So the next book I read was the long-awaited Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. So I've been excited for this book since it was announced years back that there was going to be a Magnus series, and it was so good. I really, really loved it. It's not my favourite book in the Shadowhunter world because nothing will ever beat The Dark Artificers and Clockwork Princess and City of Heavenly Fire and City of Lost Souls, but it was still so good. I was never the biggest fan of Alec, but rereading the series, reading Queen of Iron Darkness, and now this, I love him so much. How was I missing out on Alec for this long? He is just such an amazing character. And of course, Magnus is just indescribable, and then Helen and Aline were also in it, so that was so good. So this book follows Magnus Bane and Alec Lightwood after the events of City of Glass, as they are travelling across Europe when all of a sudden Magnus is accused of starting a demon worshipping cult which he has no memory of ever creating. So yeah, this was so good, definitely a 5 stars, and I'm so excited for the rest of the series. I know they have been pushed back a few months, but I'll wait. It was so good and I loved it so much. So the next book actually blew my mind and is tied with another book for my favourite book of the month, and that was The Wicked King by Holly Black. This book was so good, and it just, after reading this, The Folk of the Air just immediately became one of my favourite series of all time. I loved it so much. I just love Cardan and Jude, as characters, so much. And I know a lot of people don't like them, but I love them. This series is just so amazing, and I know there are a lot of mixed reviews, but if you are hesitant, go for it. Just hopefully you will love it as much as I do, because it's just so magical, and I'm just loving reading it so much, and it just makes me want to read every single thing Holly Black has ever written ever. It's just so good, and it hurts my heart that I have to wait till November to read The Queen of Nothing, but we will get there and it will be amazing. So The Cruel Prince is a fantasy series that follows a girl named Jude who is a human living in fairy, and it is a Tragood. Yes, that was French, I'm kidding. Yeah, so it is just so good. all I'm doing is talking about how much I love these books, and I know it's kind of, you're not gaining anything from it, but it is just how I feel about them because they are so good. So please go and read The Cruel Prince and The Wicked King. Thank you, good night. So the next two books, I'm kind of ashamed to have read them. Not because they were bad, they were amazing, but because I read them in the wrong order, and that was The Assassin's Blade and Tower of Dawn. I skipped these when I read Throne of Glass, which meant I missed out on a lot of things, and I didn't really think that I would have missed out on a lot. No, these books were amazing, and there were a lot of stuff that I should have known going into the series, and I just decided to skip them. So Tower of Dawn is my other favourite book of the month. Like, it was so good. I am now like a Cale fan, and that's never been the case. I never liked Cale, and now I love him, and I just feel like such a hit, like, it was just so good, and I love Irene so much, and like Nezra and Sartak are good too, but like Cale and Irene definitely just, it's so good. And then obviously The Assassin's Blade, I didn't like it as much as Tower of Dawn, and it wasn't my favourite in the series, but it was still pretty amazing. I just loved seeing Celaena before Throne of Glass and Sam, and just all the characters before they were in Throne of Glass. Like Lysandra, she was just awful, and now she's one of my favourite characters. So I don't even know how that worked out, but these books are so good. Like, if you haven't read Throne of Glass yet, do it. Please, I beg you. It's amazing. Thank you. Hello, I look awful at the moment. I filmed this while the sun was setting, so I was in a bit of a rush, and I realised that I forgot to rate The Wicked King, Assassin's Blade and Tower of Dawn because I am the absolute worst. So obviously The Wicked King 5 stars, Assassin's Blade 5 stars, Tower of Dawn 5 stars because you all knew it was coming, and they're just amazing. I can't help it. So So the next book I don't actually have with me at the moment because we're using it in school, so it's in my locker, but that is The Happiest Refugee by Anh Do. So Anh Do is an Australian Vietnamese born comedian, and this is the story of his family moving to Australia and just adjusting to life, and then it also goes into his life story. So I don't really like memoirs, but it was really enjoyable. I really liked the way he wrote. Wasn't my favourite book I've ever read, so I gave it like a 3 stars. Like, it was kind of enjoyable. It wasn't what I normally read. It wasn't something that I normally find interesting, but it was a quick fun read. It was only like 250 pages, and it was enjoyable. The last book I read this month was Escaping from Houdini by Kerri Maniscalco. I was lucky enough to win a giveaway hosted by Fae Crate and another Bookstagrammer, I forgot what handle is, oops, for a Capturing the Devil hangover kit box thing, which was amazing. So I had to get to this book as quickly as possible, and I was a bit let down by it, but I still loved it. It was 4 stars, but just, I don't know, I loved Hunting Prince Dracula so much, and I was expecting a lot more from this book than was delivered, but it was still really enjoyable. I just think my main problem with it was some of the things Audrey Rose did, and it hurt my heart on behalf of Thomas because he did not deserve that. But I understand, like, why it was in there, but just, I don't know, I just really want Thomas and never do this to him. But I'm so excited for Capturing the Devil because I miss Audrey Rose and Thomas, and I just want to read about them. Like, they're so adorable. If you haven't read this series yet, well, you should, because the last book comes out real soon. Well, not real soon, like September, but if you want to catch up, now's your time. It is a historical fiction mystery, I believe, about a girl named Audrey Rose who is studying to be a forensic scientist, and her friend, that's the word, Thomas Cresswell solve various mysteries in the 1800s, and it is really good. It definitely has Infernal Devices vibes, so if you were into that, definitely go and check it out. So I'm so sorry this was a terrible wrap up. I'm really tired, the sun's going down, like, it's not great, but thank you so much for watching. I recently hit 2,000 followers on Instagram, which was amazing because I never thought I would ever like get more than like 500, so that is crazy. Thank you so much for that, like, it means a lot. And we're almost on 100 subscribers here, which is just crazy. I don't know, I'm just kind of like shocked that people actually want to hear me talk and like post pictures and gush about books, so that means a lot. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!